Most people go into labor hoping for a natural, straightforward birth. But when interventions are recommended, things can start to move really fast. And in those moments, most people don't realize you're allowed to pause. It's not to refuse care, but to actually understand what's happening to you before you say yes. Hi, I'm Janie. I'm a labor and delivery nurse and certified doula. And my goal is to help you feel informed and confident during your birth, even when things don't go exactly as planned. Today, I'm breaking down the most common labor interventions so you understand what they are, why they're recommended, and what you can ask in the moment. Because here's the truth. The people who feel the most confident after birth are not the ones who avoided intervention. They're the ones who understood what was happening and felt involved in those decisions. So, as we go through each intervention, I want you to think about one thing. What would I want to understand before saying yes? Because in many situations, not all, but many, you do have time to ask questions. Let's get started with Pitocin. Pitocin is a medication used to either induce labor or strengthen contractions if labor is not progressing. It's commonly recommended if your labor has slowed, your water has been broken for a while, or there are concerns about continuing the pregnancy. What many people aren't told clearly is Pitocin contractions can feel more intense and closer together than natural contractions. So when this is recommended, you can pause and ask, is this urgent or do I have time? What happens if we wait a little longer? What are the benefits and risks for me and for my baby? Is there a more natural way to increase the intensity of my contractions? Another common intervention is breaking your water, also called an amniotomy. This is when your provider manually breaks the amniotic sac with a crochet-like device to help labor progress. It can increase contraction strength and help move labor along. But once your water is broken, there's no going back. So this is a moment where you might ask, do we need to do this right now? What is the benefit of waiting? How will this change the course of my labor? A next common intervention is the epidural. This is pain relief delivered through your spine that can significantly reduce labor pain. It's a great option for many people, but it can also limit movement, sometimes slow labor, and increase the likelihood of needing additional support. So if you're considering it, you can ask, what are my options for pain relief right now? How might this affect my mobility or labor progress? Again, this isn't about saying no. It's about understanding your choice. Another intervention you might hear about, especially if your provider wants more accurate information, is internal monitoring. This includes something called an IUPC and a fetal scalp electrode. Instead of monitoring from the outside, these are placed internally to get more precise readings of how strong your contractions are and how baby is tolerating labor. These are usually recommended if the external monitor isn't picking things up clearly, or there are concerns about baby's heart rate. What's important to understand is this requires your water to be broken, and it's more invasive than external monitoring. So this is the moment where you can pause and ask, what information are we trying to get? Is this because of a concern or just difficulty reading the monitor? How will this change what we do next? Because understanding the why helps you feel more confident in your decision. Now, I want to be really clear about something. Not every situation allows for a pause. If your baby is distressed or if there's heavy bleeding, those moments are urgent. Your care team will quickly act for a reason, but many recommendations in labor do allow for a brief moment of understanding. And in that moment, it can completely change how you experience your birth. Because feeling informed is what builds confidence, not avoiding interventions entirely. If this helped you, I'd love for you to subscribe because I share real, evidence-based education to help you feel prepared for birth. And if you're pregnant, save this video or share it with somebody who is, because understanding your options is one of the most powerful things that you can do.